Hey guys, this is Jim from MMAtoday.net. I'm here with Chris Redline Wing. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So I understand you finally have a date nailed down for the on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again fight. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, it's April 22nd now. It was supposed to be the 22nd, then it was the 8th, and, it was bouncing back and forth between organizations, but now it's official that, it's in Philly, April 22nd.
Okay, why don't you tell us, I ran into somebody the other day that's been following your career since you were an amateur, and for the people that are just kind of getting familiar with you now, the way this guy put it, to paraphrase him, he said even when you were an amateur, you were training like a pro. Would you like to elaborate on that? What do you think he meant by that?
Now I have better trainers and training partners, kind of for the most part. I had some of the same trainers as an amateur, but it really what it comes down to is my work ethic. I train just as hard with, same, Monday through Friday or whatnot, just 110%, as I do now. I took everything serious with my nutrition and my conditioning, so just my work ethic really got me to where I am now.
And what this guy was saying is that he was telling me, by his definition, that you're a full-time fighter, meaning you're not one of these guys that when you have a fight coming up, you start training, that essentially you're training all year round.
Yeah, I train to fight. I don't train for a fight. I'm training, all the time. Even if the intensity is not the same, which it can't be. When you have a fight coming up, you go balls to the walls. But I'm always training, whether there's a fight or not. I'm always in great shape. I'm still working on all my trainers, just getting better. That's the big thing. When there's a fight not coming up, that's when I really get better.
Now, you have an interesting setup, the way your management has done it with you. You have a wrestling coach, strength and conditioning coach, striking coach. You also train at two of the best camps probably in the Northeast, possibly on the East Coast. AMA up in Whippany, New Jersey, Constantino and the Millers and Charlie Brenneman, that whole bunch, and Ricardo Almeida down with Frankie Edgar, Ricardo Almeida, and those guys. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm real grateful for, the team I have around me, with my training partners and my trainers. And all my trainers, they're just 100% with me, and they, they're putting me in the right direction, and they do whatever they really can to get me to the next level, which I really appreciate as well. But all my coaches are just top level. My wrestling coach has got my wrestling through the roof. I'm wrestling with college guys all the time. I'm wrestling at the college level. My striking, I work with Mark Henry. He trains the UFC lightweight champ of the world. So that speaks for itself. That's gotten my hands night and day. My strength and conditioning coach. You guys, I'm sure, have seen the videos. It's just crazy. It's intelligent mayhem almost. So I'm always in fantastic shape, and my training partners, that's probably one of the biggest things, are the people you train with. I'm training and sparring and just working with UFC fighters on the daily, and that really brings out the best in me, and that really has brought me to the next level, I believe.
One of the things that you're well known for on the internet is your highlight and training videos, and I understand that when you guys thought your fight was going to be, April 8th, a fight promo was released, and in one night, almost 600 views, and I think it's up to like 6,000 views now. Why do you explain the success of the videos that are released about you?
Two reasons. First is management. No one's going to know about you if you got poor management. And two, my talent speaks for itself. If I was just grinding out decisions, or I was, had a lackluster fight, no one would care, But between my ability and the excitement of my fights lately and my management, people are really, my name's really getting out there.
Yeah, I remember, your first couple of amateur fights, you were pretty much a straight-up grappler. And it seems you've evolved now into a high-end striker. You're on a 3-fight knockout streak, which is pretty unique because some fighters don't even have a total of 3 knockouts in their fight career. You knocked out, in your last amateur fight, James Finero, who's a real tough kid from Long Island. He has a ton of fights. You knocked out Diederis Karavakis, who's a world-class black belt in judo, and you knocked out Yusuf Yoldis, who's a black belt in karate, and you also knocked out, not consecutively with that group, a real tough guy, Elvin Rodriguez. So, I mean, you have a total of 4 knockouts?
Yeah, that's correct.
So what's with the knockout streak?
Like you pointed out, kind of in the beginning of my amateur career, I used a lot of my wrestling and jiu-jitsu base, and, I just really started getting comfortable in my hands, and, I got my first knockout, and, it's just a lot easier than trying to take people down, when you can, when you have the ability to back it up. So I like to do it all. I love wrestling. I love wrestling as a sport itself. I wish I could wrestle every day. But, when I'm in there, I like striking, and I believe I have the most devastating power in the welterweight, weight class around. I don't hurt people. You notice if you go to MMA TV, my record, there's no T in front of the KO. It's straight up KO. When I punch you, when I connect, you don't get hurt. You get crippled, and you're out. You're done. So it's just easier that way. I like going for the KO, and it's exciting. People like to see it. So, every fight I step in, that's what, I expect nothing less.
Okay, let's talk about your opponent for the upcoming fight at Matrix Fights 4, April 22nd. Jesus Martinez. Tough guy. He's, some might say he's your biggest test to date record-wise. He's 5-0, a real tough guy from the Philly area. He's fought in King of the Cage, so he definitely has, high-level pro experience coming behind him.
Yeah, like you pointed out, he's a tough guy, and honestly, in my opinion, I think that's the biggest thing he's got going for him is his toughness. I believe that I'm technically better than him everywhere, striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I'm better than he is everywhere. You said that he's my biggest test, and he is, I believe, and I'm his biggest test. He hasn't faced anyone like me, and I don't think he's going to face anyone like me ever again, so it's going to be a good fight.
Okay, we're at the end of the interview here. I want to keep it brief. I know you want to get out of here. Do you have any shout-outs or plugs you'd like to give?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I want to thank Wings Martial Arts Academy. AMA, all the guys up there, fantastic. Mike Constantino, the Millers, Brenneman, all the guys, they're like my brothers. Everyone at Ricardo Almeida's, fantastic people as well. Frankie's up there. I want to thank all my coaches as well. And then my sponsors, Higher Strength Nutrition, thank God for them. SportsGoombas.com, Effective Aggression, Lackerneck Chiropractic, Internet Computer Solutions. I don't believe I really missed anyone, but if I did, I'm sorry. So.
All right, Chris. Well, good luck. Maybe we'll try to touch base again with you before the fight. Best wishes and good luck.
Awesome. Thanks.